Hey guys, Richard Scouting, Rebound Horsemanship. Do me a favor, if you've ever ridden in the clinic with me, hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't, well, sign up for one and hit that subscribe button anyways. I'd really appreciate it. I want to talk to you today about how to get a tight horse supple. And one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is I had a clinic this past weekend, and this individual showed up with a very tight, intense horse. A little backstory, this horse was with a trainer for a very long time. This individual spent thousands of dollars letting this trainer work with their horse, but whatever the trainer did was completely opposite of what this horse needed. The horse wouldn't yield to pressure, wouldn't back up. When he would move very tight and tense, almost like he was reacting out of fear. So he wanted to do something as opposed to do nothing and suffer the consequences. The rider took this horse home after months with this trainer, got in some very bad accidents, broke a few bones that probably didn't need to be broken, lost all of her confidence. It was a very sad situation, and it's also a situation that kind of pisses me off, because this horse had been at this trainer's place for months. The trainer did nothing to help this horse at all. And then I have 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, to repent of this other individual's sins. But this is my chosen profession. I volunteered for it, and I'm pretty good at it, so it doesn't bother me too much, but it does kind of irk me a little bit. What I did on Saturday was I put this rider on one of my horses. I put her up here on my horse, and so she could learn to use the reins and learn to use her body and how to communicate with my horse the same way that she would be communicating with her horse. I rode her horse, and I did one particular exercise for quite a while. And when I'm riding a horse, I kind of lose track of time, so I don't know for how long. But until the horse started to calm down and stretch their head and breathe out and just kind of become a lot more relaxed. What a lot of riders do when they're unconfident is they clench. They clench their butt cheeks, they clench their legs, they hold those reins tight. Or they hold the horn and they hold those reins real tight. Well, it's a false sense of security, because all you're doing in essence is you're sending lightning bolts through your butt, through your saddle, into your horse's back. When we do that, that horse gets very scared and they get more tight, and they're looking for an out. They're looking for an open gate. If we're holding them really tight, they become more claustrophobic, and if you give them enough time, they will make their own opening to get away from the pressure, usually in a manner that we don't appreciate. So this one exercise that I did a lot of, and I do a lot of on young horses, on tight horses, and not necessarily young meaning age, but educational wise, is Serpentines. Serpentines is a very good suppling exercise that causes that inside hind leg to step up onto their belly. We can use our reins to make sure their nose is tipped in the direction of travel, so we're causing our horses to be supple. At the same time, we're teaching them to yield from the rein pressure. Our inside leg is kind of between our cinches on a western saddle, if you're riding with 2 cinches. So our leg is going to bend those ribs, and it's going to manipulate their body in a manner that will allow them to become relaxed. That serpentine, there's a few real important things. One is you want to keep the walk active. You can do it at the trot also. But through your turns, you want to keep the speed. Don't allow them to slow down in the turns. The other thing is, if I'm using my left rein to turn left, then my right rein has to go forward. I can't pull on my left rein and pull on my right rein in this maneuver. It's going to make my horses much more claustrophobic. So if I activate the left rein, I have to give with the right rein. If I activate the right rein, well, I have to give with the left rein. One reason the serpentine works so well is we're just putting our horses in a bind. So as I'm turning to the left, that right side is still open, so I'm not holding them there. They're not feeling claustrophobic. There's a release on this side, so they don't feel trapped. We're just putting them in a little bind to make their minds engage and to relax. Another thing I did with this rider, very unconfident rider, and especially when she was on her horse, on her personal horse, and this isn't the horse, is I got after her. in my clinics, I try to push every rider and horse out of their comfort zone. There is nothing mystic and magical and horse whispery about what we do, and we certainly don't live in a bubble-wrapped world. Honestly, nothing really safe about what we do with horses. So when this rider was on her horse, I'd get after her, stop, back up, turn, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I would purposefully, I was doing it on purpose as an educational moment, to get her stress level up. So she could make the mental change to unlock her mind and operate her hands and her feet individually in that moment of stress. If you've ever been in a fight, you have several choices you can make. You can advance and aggress, or you can evade and escape. Freezing in a fight is very, very bad. It can cost a lot of bodily harm to you. And freezing when your horse is acting up is also very, very bad, because there's no longer a leader to control your horse. So in a stressful situation, you need to be able to activate your body and control your horse. So while she was riding that horse, I was just kind of raising her stress, kind of some stress training, because when a horse reacts, it's going to be much, much faster than me yelling at somebody. But you still have to have the intestinal fortitude and the mental strength to unlock your mind, still be scared to death, but have the courage and strength and whereabouts to gain control of your horse. So when I'm doing these serpentines, I tip my horse's nose to the left, use my legs to get that bend in their body, activate that rope and slow down, speed her up, activate that right rein, push my left rein, activate that left rein, push my right rein. I want my horse to have this continuous arc in their body. Right rein tight, left rein loose. Left rein, left leg, right leg's off, right leg's off, left leg's on. I'm going to follow these same tracks. So left rein's activated, right rein's not. Right rein's activated, left rein's not. Keep that forward motion. With my horse in a bend like this, if they were to speed up, there's two things that I could do. Since they're in this bend, if they speed up and I feel the need to do a one rein stop or to disengage those hips, then it's very easy to just take those hips away. Just shut them down. Have them stop, right? Something that I like to do, I'm a pretty confident rider, is if they speed up on these serpentines, then I'll just make the serpentines tighter. So if she chose to speed up and kind of blow away, I'll just make these serpentines tighter. Bam! Make them tighter. Bam! Because in those tight serpentines, there'll be a moment where she has to slow down. And in that moment of her slowing down, I can offer a release and tell her she's doing the right thing. So that'll be a building block to build upon. But I have to establish at least a building block to build on. Left rein's active, right rein's not. Right rein's active, right leg's active, left rein, left leg's not. If at any time you're doing these serpentines, your horse wants to stretch their head down, then you let him. You let him stretch that head down. You let him get nice and relaxed. This horse's head's coming down quite nicely. It'll come up every now and then, but I'm just going to stick with it until they're yielding from the bit really nice. They're yielding from my legs really nice, following their nose. And my rate of travel is appropriate for what I'm working for, what I'm looking for. So that's a little serpentine pattern that you can use to help a tight horse become supple. There you go. So hopefully that'll help you guys out on a tight horse to help them become supple. Just do these little serpentine patterns. One thing that I rarely do on a tight horse is a straight line. If I'm riding a straight line and my horse is straight, then my horse can react very quickly and do things very fast. If I keep a bend in my horse, then I have more control of my horse. They're flexed through their hips, they're flexed through their back, they're flexed through their poll and their neck, and they'll start to seek that suppleness and stretch down, and you're still guiding and directing them, just kind of ambering along, doing those serpentines, stretching them out, and causing them to relax. So if you have a tight, tense horse, try those serpentines. Make sure they're yielding off of your bit, make sure they're yielding off of your leg. Stick with it long enough to get the desired results you're looking for. All right, thanks guys. I hope you learned something like always. Catch you next time.